Luna, you want to sit up here? You want to be on screen? No? Test 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay. Luna.
Boss, make contact with the old man known as Code Talker. According to the intel team member you extracted, he knows what the epidemic is and how to treat it. You'll find him in a mansion deep in the valley beyond the forest. He's a high-value target who's probably involved with Cypher's research. This information came at a heavy price. And you convince security on site is gonna be tight. Watch yourself out there, all right? Make contact with the target, Code Talker. And if the treatment requires it, extract him to Mother Base. No sign of the enemy. Judging from security in the area, I'd expect to see a patrol by now. Missed. Have a bad feeling about this.
Bunch of booze? Oh, okay. The Borg. Well, you had to zoom in on their ass, apparently. This ain't good.
Boss, it's the Skulls. Damn it. So Cypher is behind this.
I'm just gonna keep going. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, God.
Sniper, where are they?
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
You see that? Sniper vanished into thin air. Just like quiet. If you can't mark them, there's no way to tell where they'll strike from next. Stay on your guard.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Missed. Have a bad feeling about this.
zoom in on the boobs here.
Is that... Boss, it's the Skulls. Damn it. So Cypher is behind this.
Well, I switched over from, you know, I usually work nights, but I was tired last night, and since I'm leaving soon, I figured I would just switch over to regular hours today, because I'm leaving tomorrow. I work tonight, but...
The sniper vanished into thin air. Just like quiet. If you can mark them, there's no way to tell where they'll strike from next.
Oh,
Stay
God.
on your guard.
What a pain in the ass this is going to be. I mean, I am leaving for air assault school tomorrow, so... I figured I would try and finish this game, because I think I have 3 missions left. Are you working today, Andrew? Air assault school? It's like, I think I'm gonna be gone basically till the 20th of March. So, it's substantial. It's a substantial amount of time. Yeah, we're basically gonna be done until we're gonna be done until we play Animal Crossing, because that comes out on the 20th and we have it you know, like reserved or whatever.
Not good. Don't let your buddy die, Snake. I'm pulling him out of there.
Buddy departing area of operations.
So it'll be fun. And then I'll be playing Fallout 4 by myself, probably. Oh. Yeah, it happens. I woke up at like 3 a.m. and was like, oh god, I hope I'm not awake. And I wasn't. That hurt. Cats, man. Yeah. My little babies. Our cats are actually surprisingly good about not waking us up. They're actually pretty considerate. And they like Earl, as soon as you start stirring, Earl will like run up to you and be like, hey, what's up? But then if you like go back to sleep, he'll you know, kind of leave you alone. So he's a pretty good guy. He's a pretty good little dude in that regard. He's our little guy. Whoa. Oh, she was awful in the past, but now she's been pretty good. One of them rabs. What's a rab? You mean like a rabble? Rebel? Rabble, rebel, something like that? Oh. The game does take place in Afghanistan and Africa, but they're some kind of weird, I don't even know, mutant secret agents or something. These Metal Gear Solid games are known for their hyper-realism in terms of storyline. Watch me knock this guy in the head from like a mile away. Yeah. You like them apples, bitch? Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Dang it. Oh. Son of a bitch. Just appears next to me and starts slashing me with a machete. It's bullshit. Yeah, I remember her. I'm still friends with her on social media and stuff. I haven't really, like, had a real conversation with her in a long time. And it had been a... Alright, we both hit each other there, which was pretty cool. She's making so many waxing poetic posts about Blue no matter who. Yeah, it's interesting that, you know, like, the thing that frustrates me the most about this, and this was the case with Joe Donnelly in Indiana. I don't know if you remember this at all from like 2 years ago. It's like, and I told Julie, like, first of all, people who are really liberal and progressive are usually pretty educated, and they pay attention to things, and they remember things. Like, with Bernie Sanders, I remember, like, nobody talks about this, but it's like, I remember the day she lost that election. Because, I mean, it was probably many different days that she lost that election. But the day that I remember is Julie and I were literally talking about how we should go volunteer for the Clinton campaign because we could not let Donald Trump win.
Don't tell me you took them all out. That's incredible, boss. Our
Um,
men can rest in peace now.
and that day, literally that day, she announced that, you know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was going to be joined. This was after Debbie Wasserman Schultz had been let go because of her BS with the election, with the primaries. And that day, like a day later or 2 days later, after me and Julie were like, okay, well, Hillary Clinton's going to win, and we can't stand her, and we can't stand her bullshit tactics and all this other stuff. And then she announced that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was going to join her campaign. And Julie and I were both like, fuck you. Clearly, you don't need me. That was literally our immediate thought. We were about to go, like, sign up to volunteer and stuff, and to, like, you know, try and get people behind Hillary Clinton. And, you know, and then we were like, I guess you don't need us. Still voted for her. Still hate Donald Trump and the whole thing, but my point is like, and the same, what happened with Joe Donnelly, like, he started running all these ads about how the socialists, he was going to help stop the socialists and the super progressives, and, like, basically running negative ads against really progressive candidates or whatever. And it's like, you know, I don't expect, as somebody who's really liberal, to get what I want all the time. I totally understand that. I know what country I live in. I understand that. But I do not expect you to embrace the idea of attacking me, blaming me as a person, you know, from my own political candidates, you know, or like, oh, hey, somebody's responsible for rigging the primaries against Bernie Sanders, and we just hired them as a, you know, a person as part of our campaign, or, you know, oh yeah, we're going to talk about how terrible the progressives are. And it's like, it's one thing, because when you do that, you're basically saying, I don't want your vote. It's the same thing with saying, like, a basket full of deplorables or whatever. It's like, look, it's one thing for you to not throw me a bone. I don't expect you to. But if you're going to pillory me, then you're basically saying I don't want my vote, and that's how you lose. It's like, it's the same, like, if you look at Donald Trump, like, and how many, yeah, well, with Joe Biden, and this is the same thing with Hillary Clinton, is nobody thinks about the narrative behind the candidate. They, like, if they want somebody and they're just like, well, he's so great, it's like, okay, but guess what? People are going to be talking about, I remember this when I was at a military thing, and somebody was like, well, I'm not sure about who I would pick, whether Trump or Hillary Clinton. And I was at a thing, and I was like, well, you know, da-da-da-da-da, maybe said a bad thing about Trump or something, and somebody, like, cut in and was like, Trump's gonna do this, Trump's like this, Trump's, like, not like these other guys, or whatever. And if there's a presidential candidate, and it's like, I can't think of anything positive to say about you whenever they say, oh, this is gonna be different, or he's gonna do this, or he's gonna give you this thing that you want. And I'm like, with Hillary Clinton, if I can't think of any of those things, then what does that tell you? Like, and if you can't do that for the person that you're running, when somebody's like, well, Donald Trump did this, he improved the stock market, he fired a bunch of people, he got rid of all these poisonous people on Wall Street, and you're like, I can't think of anything to say about Hillary Clinton that I like because I don't like her, then guess what? You're in trouble.
I know about that battle just now. You're right at the mansion. The time is close. Be sure to think this through.
And I don't think that's like an aspect of politics that people don't understand. And the other thing is, like, nobody's thinking about the fact that Donald Trump is this, you know, he to his credit, and is the perfect, you know, presidential candidate for these times, because he's able to, even if he's getting his butt kicked in a debate, he doesn't know anything about anything, he can congeal, like, the whole debate into, like, one point of, like, when Hillary Clinton was like, you know, It's a shame. It's really good that Donald Trump's not in charge of our legal system. And he was like, "'Cause you'd be in jail." You know, regardless of how the rest of the debate was, that was the thing that people came away with from that debate. You know, and it was like, oh, you know, he got her. You know, he's gonna get her. He's gonna get those people. And it's like Joe Biden can go into one of those debates
Analysis
and
complete.
forget where he is or something, or just blank out. And I really wish there was going to be a debate between now and March 10th so that you could see what the difference in, you know, staying on message and being aggressive between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. But we're not going to get it, which sucks. Yeah. Yeah, he said, you know, nothing's going to change. This is all about just getting back to normal. And, of course, you and I both know that it's like, we already tried this. This is why we're so worried and so against Joe Biden, is because, guess what? We tried running a problematic, middle-of-the-road, Obama-era, look how normal he is type of person. And they lost. And I think it's really weird to me. Yeah, 2018 was kind of exciting in a way because, you know, the Democrats won pretty handily. And that was good. But at the same time, it's like the Republicans have had their run of being able to control state houses now, and they've had that law has been gone. The Supreme Court struck down the law for voter protection. So they've had their run of like rigging things. Like if you look at the Wisconsin 2018 election, I think it's Wisconsin. And it's like, it was like I think the Democrats won all the statewide elections. They won by like 5 points or something like that. They won by 5 points across the state. They ended up with only like 1/3 of the state, like seats
Analysis complete.
in Wisconsin, which is such unbelievable amounts of gerrymandering. Like that's absurd. It's like you win the election and you only get 1/3 of the power in the state. That's like insane. Like it's ridiculous. And that is after Scott Walker being in charge for like 6 years. 6 years of Republican control, and they're able to solidify that state as a Republican, basically like a Republican stronghold for the state politics. Yeah, and it's interesting that people are attaching themselves to this narrative, and it's like, you know, it's really weird. I'll say like 3 things I was thinking about. One is the entire media attached itself to this narrative that the Sanders supporters and Bernie Sanders was to blame for 2016. Of course, Hillary Clinton was not to blame at all. That Bernie Sanders was to blame. And then they're like, oh, we really need the Sanders supporters to get behind the same candidate. And I'm like, okay, then stop saying about how we're to blame for 2016 and say Hillary Clinton is to blame for 2016 a little bit, maybe. And, you know, the problem with 2016 was that, you know, minority people, like black people especially, I think, young people and independent people stayed home. And they didn't vote for it. It's like, okay, aside from African Americans, who's somebody who is really popular with young people and independents? Oh, right, Bernie Sanders is. You know, they're always trying to blame us, and then they're like, well, you need to support the person that we need to support. And it's like, well, fuck you. You support the person that we support then. Like, it's the same thing with how Republicans are always talking about compromise and all this other crap whenever Democrats are in control, and like fair XYZ, and then as soon as they get in control, it's like, now we're just gonna hammer everything through, forget it.
I've been waiting till you.
Hey Luna, come here. Come here, baby. Come here. You wanna see Andrew? You wanna see Andrew? Look. look who it is. Luna. Hey.
That's him. That's Code Talker.
Look familiar. It's infecting my men. How do we kill it?
Or death. It could be in here.
Yeah, the funny thing about that, where it's like, you mean Donald Trump, who didn't go after his white supremacist and white nationalist supporters who helped him win? Like, first of all, it's like, it's really weird that it's like, people are always like, you have to disavow anybody with problematic views. It's like, dude, you couldn't fill a freaking, you couldn't fill a cruise ship with people from this country who don't have problematic views. Which is like, I find that really weird. It's like, oh, you have to disavow anybody with problematic views, and it's like, you mean like everybody? Everybody? That's who we need to get rid of from whatever group of people? Hey, Luna. Just gonna move the camera down a little bit so she can be in there. Hey, you're my little baby.
I cannot say which language your parasites are attuned to. But silence is the best way to keep them from laying their children. This contains an herb that they dislike.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know. And I mean, sometimes, like, Julie was telling me, there was like, I don't know, in politics, it's really weird that nobody even ever considers this stuff. You know, Harry Truman used to, he did his train tour of the United States, and as soon as the train would arrive, he would have a guy from the back, like, jump off the train, run into the crowd of people, and then he would say something during his speech, and then the guy in the crowd would be like, "Go get him, Harry!" And then everybody would laugh. And it's like, you don't think that in any of these, like, protests or something, it's like they never, you know, some of these people, they never send somebody in there to escalate a protest. Oh, they sent somebody through, it was a Bernie Sanders supporter, threw a brick through our window. They're so terrible. It's like, you're telling me you don't think anybody's ever pretended to be a Bernie Sanders supporter, you know, or pretended to be whoever and thrown a brick through the window?
To do his terrible work.
Skullface.
Even a country like America sways in his wake.
So, what it really just goes to show you is what everyone's waiting to believe about liberal people, which, you know, that's no surprise at all. That's been known.
Perhaps the machine that you hear.
It's the same thing with, like, if you look at any socialist country or any communist country, you know, and that's one reason actually to be worried about Bernie Sanders' chances, is because people over a certain age have got a government chip in their brain, no joke, from the years of propagandizing about socialist country. They legit, like, and I run into this all the time in the military with people, and it's like, they have got a kindergarten view of, like, countries and where they stand and stuff, and they don't believe, like, they don't ever believe anything positive that any country has ever done, if it's a socialist or a communist country, and they will believe anything about them. Like, you can be like, you know, what the hell, I have to walk? I remember one time in my like Ivy Tech philosophy class, I was talking about history or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, the Soviet Union was the first country to recognize Israel. And this guy's like, what? Really? What? And I'm like, yeah, you can look it up. It was like, you know, we came later. Yeah, the Soviet Union was like, yeah, Israel should exist or something. Whether you think that's positive or negative or whatever, people seem to think that these people are like it's like Red Dawn or something, you know? They're so nefarious.
Boss, he's gonna wipe every language besides English off the face of the earth.
Ironic, isn't it? They
Luna, Jesus Christ.
It is thanks
Dug her claws in my leg.
that man first learned to speak. But now, hands of
Yeah, and the Cuban, like, voters, like the expatriates in Florida are so, like, if you remember the debate from the Republican side, and like, I don't know if it was like 2012 or 2016, but like every single person on the stage had to take a moment to talk about why Castro was going to hell.
Skulls. No sense rushing things now. Wait and see what their next move is.
Like, legitimately, it was like, oh yeah, you know, Castro's gonna die, and he's gonna go to hell, and he's terrible. Like, he's a Hitler or something, you know? And it's like, dude, you know, have whatever view of him you want, you know, of him being a bad person or whatever degree of bad person, but guess what? He is not anywhere close to what y'all are pretending like he is. And you need to grow up. You need to get out of this whole, like, oh my god, he's the same as...
Please select a landing. The support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
He's the same as this person or that person. It's like, man... Yeah. No, I know. I know exactly what the situation was in Cuba. And, you know... Well, not exactly. You know, I'm not like a historian or something, but... Like, anything I've ever read about it, and it's like, you know, the Cuban Revolution didn't start out as a communist revolution. The Soviets didn't even know about it, you know, over there or whatever. And, oh man, these guys are coming after me. This ain't good. Oh boy. Man, why'd I gotta carry this old man? Really glad the rivers in this country are only shin deep.
Enemy presence detected. The map
Well, I just feel like the starting point you have for any of these, you know, these things is like, I don't deny the Cuban people anything I don't deny myself. So when they don't want to live in a country where, you know, they're controlled by foreign powers in the same way that we don't want to be controlled by foreign powers, I don't belittle them for that. Whenever they want to overthrow a dictator who cancels their elections or whatever, it's like, fine, you know, that's fine. I would rather, you know, it was a democratic socialist country than a totalitarian communist country, but, yeah. I don't know, is some old wise man of some kind
has been updated.
in the game. Hey, Luna. Luna, stop digging your claws in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
You mad at me?
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
I killed it. Hey. What are you doing? You rubbing your head? You putting your head up against me? Hmm? Hmm. Hey, baby. Don't get mad. It's okay. You can lay down. You can get on the mic? You can say hello? Yeah, but the ex-Cubans in Miami are so,
We found the bodies of
like,
two missing Intel team members in Luftwaffe.
very, very conservative, obviously, and very vindictive about the Castro stuff. That's why every 4 years, you know, the Republican candidate's gonna come out and say, like,
Mother Base.
oh, we gotta keep on punishing the Castro regime.
He's the only
we gotta keep on, you know, Raul Castro's gonna go to hell. He's the worst person on planet Earth or whatever. Meanwhile, Trump's, you know, talking about how great Kim Jong-un is, who that country is literally like the worst in history in terms of totalitarian control and all these other things. Bye, Luna. Hey, I love you. But they have to cater to the Cubans.
Tell me how to fight it.
It's an odd thing.
In a microbe, this one carries. It turns the male parasites into females, preventing reproduction. One parasite
Yeah.
infecting another.
Now, it's really funny is like before they had a nuclear weapon, you know, in whatever year, it's like you realize that like with the George W. Bush administration, they really should have invaded North. If they were going to invent a war against any country, it should have been probably North Korea and not. I mean, obviously that might have been really bad with China, but they should have invented a war with North Korea before they had the bomb, and now they do, and it's like, you know, great. Now what are you going to do? You're talking about people living in a regime that's more repressive than
They the work of your children too?
any other nation on planet Earth has ever been.
Strain from
Yeah, I know. That's the real truth. No oil.
One that covers. It acts as the host's skin, providing strength.
Yeah, but the stuff with Bernie Sanders, where it's like, you know,
Not know.
when Elizabeth Warren,
Infected.
her campaign, or whatever,
The force to serve him.
coordinated with CNN to do this story about how Bernie Sanders told her that a woman could never win the presidency, and that totally tanked her campaign because nobody who was an objective observer, Republican or Democrat, believed any of that shit, whether they were Tucker Carlson or Joe Scarborough or any of us at home. If any of us like were inclined to just believe any negative thing about Bernie Sanders from the start, nobody believed it. Nobody believed it. And that tanked her campaign because I literally emailed her campaign. I was a Bernie bro. I emailed her campaign because I had literally been sitting it out. I was like, I had not thrown money at any candidate yet. And I emailed her campaign. And it was like, because of your coordinated attack, your bullshit attack against Bernie Sanders, saying that he said things to you that we've seen for 30 years, that he has been telling children, especially young girls, that they can run for office, and you're telling me he said a woman can never be president or whatever. You're so full of shit, and I'm going to be donating money to his campaign. And I donated like $500, and I've been donating since then. And it's like, it was at that point where I was like, nope, you're full of shit. Because that story, I don't know if you looked into that story at all, as if it deserves looking into. It was literally like Elizabeth Warren had a private conversation with Bernie Sanders that no one else was in, and then she told 2 of her aides, and then those 2 aides told 2 other people, which means those are it's 4 people who didn't actually hear the conversation and were told by Elizabeth Warren that that's what happened. And it's like, that's so, like, oh wow, a politician said another politician was XYZ way? Yeah, no one was there. And it was like, this is such horseshit. And like CNN, it was like oh wow, you know, I knew some, he's always been so sexist or whatever. And I was telling Julie the other day about the real reason why I was so surprised that Donald Trump won was because he won 53% of white women. Because white women, there's this thing where it's like, yeah, obviously like sexual harassment, sexual assault, it's a big, and I don't know if you just like pigeonholing or being talked over, they're all like really real problems. But nobody talks about the problem of like how often women are trying to basically put themselves in the same position as other minority groups. It's like everybody wants to be, everybody wants to like bring their societal group problems in line with what like African Americans have been through or something. They want to like kind of put themselves on the cross and talk about how it's like, look, man, you know, not being able to vote for a long time is not the same as being like shot and dragged through the streets or being enslaved or something. And I feel like they're always trying to like, yeah, win the oppression Olympics, exactly. Or like put themselves on standing and pretend like they're not, you know, 51% of the country or 51% of the people who have money or whatever thing it is. And they're like, well, yeah, but we don't have as much money, you know, some actress had to argue to get paid as much as some other actor. And it's like, do you have any idea how many actors don't get paid as much as other actors? You know, like, you know, I hammered sledgehammers all summer, and I saw women getting paid twice as much as I did to, you know, ladle food out of a thing at a catering company while I was getting paid minimum wage. So they were making tips and a bunch of money. So it's like I've seen it, and I never saw anybody arguing for the difficulty of what I was doing. But the point is that oh boy, that guy's dead. Is they're trying to put themselves on this footing, and there is nobody who encapsulates that long-term problem that women have had to deal with the way Donald Trump does. He is like an unqualified, blowhard businessman who got what he got because of his the people he knew and was related to. He sexually harasses women from a position of power, talks about it. He, you know, leaves the middle-aged woman for the younger woman. He did that like 3 or 4 times, and does it to his current wife. You know, fucks porn stars and talks about how women look and rates them and you know, doesn't believe they're on equal ground. And with that grab 'em by the pussy tape and the sexual harassment and all this other stuff, and I was like, I never thought in a million years that white women would come out and support that, because he was like the exact model of this thing that they've been telling us was such a problem for so long. And I thought they were just waiting. They were just waiting to be like, screw this guy. This is the guy who talks over women. This is the guy who takes up too much space on the train. You know, this is the guy who thinks he's entitled to our sexual attention, who's just a dickhead who doesn't care about anyone. And they voted for him. And I was like, all right, you know, we're supposed to believe, you know, you're supposed to believe women all the time, but don't believe them about how they don't, you know, like people like that now. This is what I think. It's like, oh yeah, he told us how much what a problem it is that, women are sexually harassed and all this other stuff, and it's like, and then you voted for him. So, you know, you voted for the guy that was the perfect exemplar of this. I never thought that would happen, but it happened. 53% of white women. Yeah. Yeah, and all the stories right now are all about, like, oh, this is gross. All the stories are like, oh, you know, how did sexism tank Elizabeth Warren's campaign? You know, what happened with that? And it's like, maybe Elizabeth Warren tanked Elizabeth Warren's campaign. You know, she was the front runner at some point. She had a message and she was doing well. And I think that, you know, we talked about it before. She let off the gas. She showed her hand. And, you know, I feel this way. There's a line in the movie, what's the movie called? It's The Irishman on Netflix. There's a line in that movie by Jimmy Hoffa's character that I thought was so great. He's talking about the Kennedys, and he's like, Jimmy Hoffa's like, he's like, the Kennedys are gonna start coming after us. I know they are. And he's like, I don't care if they're Roman Catholic. I think Jimmy Hoffa was Roman Catholic too. He's like, I don't care if they're Roman Catholic. Don't trust rich kids. don't trust millionaires' kids. And it's like so freaking true. Wow, that hurt. Okay. So just run over here. Well, can't hide under there. And I'm dead. But with Elizabeth Warren, it's like, oh, she was 47 or whatever before she decided that, you know, Democrats, you know, maybe treating poor people okay was the way to go. And it's like, you know, I don't trust anyone I don't trust anybody with a progressive agenda that was like, when they were 50 years old, they were like, Ronald Reagan's great. Like, you know, my parents didn't fall for it. They didn't like Ronald Reagan. So I don't really trust anybody who was like, oh yeah, I mean, who cares about gay people? You know, in 1980 or 88 or whatever. Like, I don't care about them. Or, you know, I don't care that Ronald Reagan opened his campaign at that city where those civil rights guys were killed and talked about states' rights. That doesn't bother me at all. It's like, man, it's like, I'm afraid I do not agree. So I find it, you know, I feel vindicated in that she immediately, you know, started tanking, because it's like, yeah, she was gonna let off the gas. She was, you know, these people find it impossible. It's like, well, you know, there's some really good rich people out there, you know, they've been nice to me, so I'm a professor at Harvard, so it's like I know a lot of the really good ones, or whatever you want to say. And it's like, well, you know, if you're gonna let off the gas, then you're gonna lose. Yeah, which, you know, she's probably lining up to do that. Or she's gonna just withhold an endorsement from Bernie Sanders and try and get some kind of deal to be Secretary of State or Vice President or something. It shows you how sincere those progressive beliefs were.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a drop point. Please supplies requested.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, you know, despite what Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden says, progressive people pay attention to this. So if you're gonna like, basically betray us and go with Biden on this, then guess what? You know, you're not gonna win the next big thing that you obviously want. Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to feel bad for all the doctors who are progressive doctors who are like, yeah, but can't we be like nicer to rich people for just a second? And it's like, dude, we're dying out here. I mean, I'm, in a much better position than I've been previously, finally getting a full-time job that's got decent benefits and stuff, and I was really fortunate to get that. I'm streaming. Talking to Andrew. Yeah, I fed him. They're lying. I don't know, like an hour ago. You can feed him though. Don't let him stop you.
Supply drop complete.
Julie just woke up. Huh? About an hour. I'm in the middle of an intense boss battle. Finally killed one, Jesus. These things are ridiculous. Oh shit.
Enemy group detected. Map system updated.
I left the space open for Earl. He never came over. He found a better deal. Oh yeah. One more. Whoa.
Enemy presence detected. Map updated. Please set supplies requested. Enemy presence.
Yeah, I'm taking the cheap ass way to try and save them or beat these guys. It's like run, hide, shoot, run, hide, shoot. I'm not trying to get stuck in no one-on-one battle with them. Whoa. Are you kidding me? Bunch of bullshit. So you have to like supply drop
Please
ammo to
select
yourself?
drop point. Supplies requested.
So mine landed on the roof there, so I didn't get it. No, I've never fought a rocket launcher, shot a rocket launcher. I shot a grenade launcher. Didn't have a real grenade in it though, just had a, you know, whatever in it. Dummy round. One more, come on. Come on. Yes. Need some more ammo. Whoa. Whew, that was close.
Please select and supplies requested.
Ah! I like them apples. Man, this is close.
Supply drop complete.
Give me them rockets. Need them rockets. Here we go. Big boss coming for you. Oh, I realized that my screen appeared. Whoa. Okay, they're dead. My screen is off currently, somehow. There, fixed it, maybe.
You have arrived at our destination.
Alright, let's get out of here. Come here, old man. The ultimate killing machine.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Anytime now. Come on. I'm right here.
Get in, boss.
There we go. In one of the missions, like 2 missions ago, in the last playthrough I was doing, it was like there were child soldiers and you weren't allowed to kill any of them, even though they were shooting at you with AK-47s or something. And I was like, pfft, I'll kill them.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end.
John hates Trump. I think before he probably wrote in John Kasich or something. He's probably the only Republican person that I believe actually didn't vote for Trump is John Sheldon. All the rest of them are, lying about voting for Gary Johnson or something. It's like every Republican I know voted for Gary Johnson. I think John Sheldon, he actually was comparing Trump to like his tactics to like Hitler and stuff, and I think he probably wrote in John Kasich. But I saw him. He posted a story that was like why Republicans should consider Elizabeth Warren or something. So I think he'll actually vote for whoever the Democrat is, because of Trump.
Skullface is no longer.
I don't think he did last time. I think last time he just wrote in a name.
The test was a success. Now they turned their knives on me.
Satellites didn't read any test. Neither did seismometers.
The detonation test took place 5 years ago in the southern Indian Ocean.
Hey Jude. Good morning.
The final test is the
What you doing?
to prevent detonation.
Oh, you can sit down in here if you want.
Skullface plans to sell nuclear weapons that he
Are you feeling okay?
control of.
It's not like hawking small arms to militias.
Indeed.
Not as bad.
Plans to avoid detection by exporting minerals containing tiny amounts of uranium in the form of metallic archaea. Once on site, metallic archaea enrich the uranium,
Did you have breakfast?
carbonize
Yeah,
it,
cereal.
load it onto
okay.
all-terrain
Me too.
bipedal machines. Ensure any country, armed group,
Go, baby.
even the smallest terrorist cell, can become a nuclear power.
Somehow you're telling me this old ass guy survived a helicopter
So
crash.
that's why they needed Huey.
A new business to replace the arms
I'm
business.
talking to Andrew.
And Skullface owns the market.
The very atmosphere.
I mean, I don't know, maybe, but
and every
my thing is just like so many Republicans and conservatives are always like,
So that's
oh, I
why
didn't
they're
vote for
ready to
him, or I wrote in some name, and it's like,
Trump.
yeah,
They're all lying.
it's like he got elected somehow, yo.
instantly overrides
Like-
the
They're all lying
critical
about it. I
generator.
don't believe anybody.
Fail safe only he controls.
Yeah, Julie's had a cough for like 2 weeks now.
Any such weapon can be deactivated whenever he chooses, regardless of who owns it or their intent.
Yeah, it's fun with coronavirus. It's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go live in close quarters, with a bunch of people from all over the country
If they
at a
proliferate,
large
conventional nukes lose all value.
military facility in Georgia.
Military
It's like
and
at the busiest airport in the planet or in the country.
become powerless.
pharmaceutical teams have come up with a proposal for a new suit that applies Code Talker's research, the Parasite suit. Apparently, it can recreate some of the Skull's unusual abilities. But in order to use those abilities, it needs parasites. If you want to wear this suit, you're going to need to get a hold of parasites by extracting skulls.
I ain't extracting shit. Yeah. They're out there. But, I don't know.
We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I bet.
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation.
A gay man at a Home Depot?
Judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic?
Use this. The type of Wolbachia, introduced to a sample of the parasite. The parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female.
It is one of the weirdest currents, I think, in American thinking is that
Cultivate more.
anybody who is successful or anybody who wins at one thing, first of all, is that anybody who's successful or wins at one thing has got something worthwhile to contribute to something that's completely unrelated to it. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen these, but it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson shares all these like occasionally shares these really stupid observations about like society or something. He's like I've seen him kind of encapsulated in tweets where it's like, it's not often enough that we study how, how thought becomes truth and truth becomes knowledge and all this other stuff. And it's like, somebody commented, was like, this is literally what we do in the humanities and liberal arts, which he shits on all the time, of course. And it's also, it's called epistemology, which is a branch of philosophy, the study of what makes things true. And it's like, dude, you're an astrophysicist, and you're like, oh yeah, I don't know why people never study this. And it's like, and then he talks about how useless philosophy is, and it's like, that's literally what philosophy is. And I don't know, it's just like we have this thing, it's like, and even to some extent with actors and musicians and stuff, although them commenting on things is more consistent with what their profession is. But it's like, oh, somebody made a ton of money, somebody's a billionaire, we really got to get them in the White House, because then they'll make everybody billionaires, or they know the secret of success, or they're going to bring their business knowledge to the White House, and it's going to make this huge difference. And it's like, I don't know about that.
Again with the truth serum?
What are those legs made out of? Titanium? All the way to the feet.
Metallic archaea.
Sahelanthropus. Where is it?
What?
We have to know before his plan is complete. Sahelanthropus is the final piece.
What are you talking about?
If the Soviets break out a mobile,
Yeah.
controllable nuclear weapon,
And there's a lot of them. A lot of STEM snobs.
East-West relations will be right back at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
It's like,
The
you know,
Cold War returns to life.
for some reason the STEM people are the only ones who can give us,
Line up for
people who make more money are the only ones who can give us relevant views about history and all this other things.
And on the brink of annihilation, the world maintains its balance. But we know this is all just a shield, a ruse, a cleansing parasites, the way Madam knows. A WMD to eclipse even nukes. The only one that can still be used. Skullface is the world's greatest threat, and Zero. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to unveil Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan.
They can't activate it without me.
Stop ruining my stuff. Why are you ruining my stuff?
Okay, B0. Sahelanthropus is beyond the Soviet base camp, in a lab built by the Soviet philosophers.
Soviet philosophers?
That's what you're looking for.
Of course, always philosophers to blame. It's all about the philosophers.
No! No! Wait!
We got word from Afghanistan. Everyone at the Soviet base camp's dead. No sign of fighting. Parasites. Skullface's men then headed north. The target is OKB-0.
It's always the commies' fault.
Unless we stop him, he'll go down in history a conquering victor.
I always blame the Soviet philosophers.
Wipe him out. Don't leave any trace of his existence. I'm gonna need backup on this one. You'll rendezvous on site.
About Eli. No matter how many times we talk to him, he just won't listen. He sees everything in terms of victory or defeat and still won't accept that you beat him. We're gonna have to put him in his place. Again. If you don't mind, come back to Mother Base and go another round with him.
Go another round, eh?
Specify a project.
How would Harry call Stalin a Soviet philosopher? Yeah, I need to read Das Kapital as well. I don't know, like so much of, you know, they have like liberal news, liberal media, liberal, you know, progressive, whatever. It's like, at some point,
Select a mission.
you know, I kind of got to a point where I was like, how much more do I need to know about, you know, how much I'm getting screwed over. Like,
Please select a landing zone.
it's not like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of where I'm at. It's like, oh, do I really need to know more about how whatever group of people is getting treated terribly and how whatever group of people is, whatever you want to say, you know, it's like, I'm just going to think about it and be mad about it. It's like, I don't want to spend all my time just being mad about whatever problem. What the heck? What is going on? Get back here, you little shit. Forget it. I'm getting out of here. Take a quick shower.
Marker placed.
I guess I gotta fight this child.
Sun will set shortly. You have arrived at your destination.
Gotta fight a kid even though I'm a grown-ass man. Like this is Three Ninjas or some stupid crap. Where are you at, you punk-ass bitch? I'm a grown-ass man. Fighting children. Ow. Ow. Jesus. Stop, drop, and roll.
The weather will clear shortly.
What a pain in the ass. Oops. No, I did not mean to do that. How many times I gotta hit this guy with tranq darts? There. How you like that shit, you stupid kid? No. Probably stop in like a half hour or something. I was expecting to actually finish the game today. I think there's only 31 missions. Then Julie and I are gonna finish Starlink Battle, like later tonight. And then we'll be done. For like 15 days. I was just hoping to finish this game today before I left.
Has that rat finally accepted that he lost? Hopefully now he'll be a bit more obedient.
Please the landing zone.
Roger. This is B-Quad.
Please select
Arriving
mission.
shortly at LZ.
Please specify a project.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Have you played any of the Metal Gear Solid games at all?
I know you're an expert when it comes to solo infiltrations,
Select a
but
mission.
now you have buddies who will fight alongside you. Use your iDroid to deploy them whenever you like. The role of your buddies is to support you during missions. There's more than one way for them to do that. To get the most out of a buddy's abilities, you need to give the right order for the situation.
Deploying.
They're pretty good. The stories are impossible to follow, though. Aside from, like, the story in the first one, but the rest of them are ridiculous, it seems like. I don't know how you could possibly follow some of the storylines in these games, to be honest. They're good games in terms of gameplay-wise. This game is really big, really long. And I think it's like one of those things where it's like you finish it at mission 31 or something, but then there's like 20 other side missions or something that are unlocked. I just wanna finish it up. I'm playing it for like a month and a half or something.
The research facility Emmerich was talking about is north of the Soviet base. That's where Skullface is keeping Sahelanthropus before setting it loose in Afghanistan. There's a good chance he's got nukes too.
And for some reason at the beginning of literally every mission in this game, they always like treat the games like they're movies. At the beginning of every mission in this game, they roll the credits at the beginning like this.
Find out what his plans are.
It's like, I don't know why, but whatever.
All we know is that Skullface's plans are on the verge of fruition. We need to stop him while we still can.
I thought it was so hilarious when I got this person who's sitting next to me as an ally, and she's like, her character, according to her background, she can't wear clothes, so she's got to walk around like, you know,
Soviet soldiers in that area.
like a sports bra all the time, which I thought was funny.
XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. To isolate the facility, they first spread reports of a chemical weapon leak. The infection won't spread into the surrounding regions. Still, I think they just exterminate the men who worked for them all this time. Skullface must be making his final play.
There are people at this base? Picking up some bullshit.
Eli snuck into the cargo on board the chopper. His idea of an escape attempt? Who can say? We'll think of how to deal with him later. Snake, do you read me? I know more than anyone about OKB-0 and Sahelanthropus. Boss, I've made up my mind. I want to be of use to you, not him. Let me work to pay for what I've done. I'll prove it, that I've always been your ally.
Whoa!
Boss, I'll be focused on coordinating backup here in Mother Base. The chain of command is still in place.
Make sure I press the right button there.
Through Miller as usual. Skullface is in OKB-0. Start by making contact with him. The facility itself is under the control of XOF, Cypher Strike Force. We have no hard data on their force strength, so your judgment in the field will be key. Boss, we're finally here. Find Skullface and take everything from him.
Everything.
XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Say hi 100 times and get a sub. Okay. Hi 100x times and get a sub. There, I said it. No, that's somebody else. Or, I don't know. I don't know which character you're thinking of.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Gotta sneak past.
enemy presence detected.
That's not how it works.
Updated.
I have to say hi 100 times. What about 25 high plus 25 high plus 25 high plus 25 high? I supposed to sneak into this place? I guess I can go up this way. I don't know if I'll oh. Whoop. Okay, well, that didn't work. Let's just do this the old-fashioned way, shall we? I think I hit him in the head, but he's got a helmet on. Oh, I did hit him in the head. It's a good shot. Just saying. Okay. One high at a time. I mean, I gotta have at least 10 highs at this point. It's like high. High. Okay, I definitely hit that dude, but whatever. Do you like to get high? Oh, I hit him in the head again, but he's got a helmet on. Again. I keep trying to get out of my hellos. My highs, my hellos. Never had anybody ask me to say hi that many times that, like... Is this some kind of tradition in other countries to... Oh boy. That hurt. That's hurting. This hurts. Yikes. Ow, 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 ow. Need to get above him so I can shoot him. Hi, 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 hi. I hope you're keeping count. Hi, hi, hi. Gotta get high on these rocks so I can shoot him. Ow. Ah, man. Go, 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 go.
Good work. 2 more gates to go. It's still all quiet at the silo. No sign of Skullface or his Goliath.
He says it's quiet. Meanwhile, I'm getting shot, like, a lot. Oh boy. This mission's a bit of a disaster, isn't it? It's really not going good. Yeah, I just gotta, you know, one at a time, right? Gotta get famous one high at a time. Hi, 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 hi. Oh boy. I mean, I got 75 followers. I'm pretty famous as is, I gotta say. Or 73, 2. Hit him in the head. But he's got a helmet on. Come on. Hi, 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 hi. How many highs am I at so far? Got that one. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good shot right there. Ow.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
Ow. I have no idea what's going on right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm dead. Damn it. What a pain in the
Hey,
ass.
quit kidding around. Snake?
I
Make contact with Skullface. Head for the silo at the facility's northernmost point.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
got him in the head. Oops.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake? Snake!
I have to wear the chicken hat of shame now.
Still
Make contact with Skullface. Head for the silo at the facility's northernmost point.
enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
It did not get me ripped. Especially since I'm a reservist, I don't actually, you know, spend a ton of time working out the way they do in the active duty side.
Analysis.
XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close.
Find me and take me out, yo.
CP, this is Zulu 6. I have visual on an enemy sniper. Please advise. Over. This is CP. Understood. Get on the mortar and pacify the enemy target. Out.
Huh. Yep. I'm afraid that's not how it works. Still need to work out yourself if you're trying to get somewhere. Unless you're going infantry. Active duty. Finally. Gotta kill everybody. You don't like freedom?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Just gonna pick these guys off one at a time.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
They all know where I'm at. No. They just yell at you a lot. They call you stupid. The real army's a lot like Metal Gear Solid. There's,
Deactivation still exists.
mutants and people with psychic abilities. That's what the real army's like. This is not going well. It's a good headshot, though. One shot at a time, yo. Okay, that guy got in my way. That's the guy I was trying to shoot. You can be who you want to be with the Navy, I hear. Oh. Whoa! Whoa. Was not expecting that. What's BFME 2? Oh, Battle for Middle Earth? Is that what that is? gotta run. Oh, cool. How many people did you have watching?
Please have supplies requested.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Supply drop
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna get people watching and not, and for what reason, you know? Oh, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Could, oh, chat show up in game? I forgot how I did it. You can look it up on YouTube, but I think you have to add a source using your streaming software. It kind of depends on what software you're using.
Boss, that's a serious injury. Won't heal on its own. We'll need to treat it with first aid.
I don't remember. I set up a lot of these things like a year ago, you know, to set up streaming, and you know, once it's set up, you kind of just leave it unless it messes up somehow. Ow, what is shooting at me? I mean, it's not as hard as you think. You just have to, like... yeah, I forget how I set up the source, but you can look up just, like, how to get a chat box, you know, in OBS or something, and it'll walk you through the steps. That's what I did. It was, like, all basically just not forums, but, like, posts by other stream people. That was a good shot right there. Just Google OBS how to set up a stream box or something, and it'll show you how, tell you how. Where's this guy going? Where are you going, dude? Where are you going? Going to hell. Yeah, go for it. I gotta get packed for my trip tomorrow. Finish up everything and all that jazz. I think the biggest indicator of like when people watch a stream is really, it's just like, is the game new? I mean, it seems to be the biggest thing. Like when Mario Maker first came out, we were getting like, and since that's a game that lends itself to streaming so much, we had like 10, 12 people watching sometimes. That's how we got most of our followers and everything. Was Mario Maker. Whoa, this guy's got rockets. Woo, quiet saved my ass.
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
I mean, I think, you know, adding a kind of an info box to your
Please
channel
select a drop
is
point.
gonna be big.
Please select a drop point.
I think that by itself would get you,
Supplies
you know.
requested.
Oh, dang it, of course they're up there. Yeah, the chat box is handy, especially if you're posting things to YouTube, because if you don't have the chat box in your
Supply drop complete.
stream, if you post your streams to YouTube like we do, it won't post with the chat in it, so people will just see you talking and not know like what the hell you're talking to, who you're talking to, or anything like that. Okay, how many rockets can one helicopter take? Seriously. This is ridiculous. There she goes. Whoa! Who did that? What in the hell is going on? Who is shooting at me? How do you like it? I missed him somehow. Got him that time. Yeah, the chat box is a big thing. What else do we do? Oh, there's an app that you can get where you set your stream schedule so that people know when you're streaming, and you can set regular dates and times, and that's a handy tool. You can just look at the apps that we have on ours. Those are some of the recommended ones.
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Ah. There you are. Where was he?
Analysis complete.
And you think you'll stream with a camera on you? Like, showing your face? I mean, some people don't do that.
Alright, you're through the second gate. Only one gate left. From here on in, you're in the enemy's headquarters. Something's wrong. But it has to be here.
Oh, I just use the camera on my laptop. Not fancy pants, getting my own camera. Where am I supposed to go? Yeah, Julie and I are the pinnacle of sexiness. So I've been told. By nobody who's ever watched this stream. Whenever one of these locations is empty when I'm on my way in, I'm like, okay, so when I leave or have to escape or something, that means there's going to be like 50 guys in it. It's like there's going to be 50 guys in here when I have to leave this place. You're going to pull that shit. Yo, get out of there as soon as possible. Get on the whatever thing and ride away. Get in the car.
After you. His ride has arrived. Don't let Skullface get away. Stop him at the heliport. Boss, can you see the heliport? Skullface is right there. Make contact with him and make him talk. We have to stop him before his plan is set in motion. Sahelanthropus is somewhere inside there. First
Should I talk to him or should I shoot him?
Don't kill him yet. We need him to talk first.
Time for a cinema. What are you getting? I think I'm getting it. What are you getting? I've killed like 500 people.
You hope hatred might someday replace the pain, but it never goes away. It makes a man hideous.
Oh, okay.
Inside and out.
Yeah, we actually use Streamlabs OBS to stream.
We both are demons.
It lets you integrate more
Our
features in pretty
humanity
easily.
won't return. You, me, we've no place to run, nowhere to hide. And that is why I'll
Did you ever
show
watch
my demons.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law?
Follow me, big boss.
There's just a funny bit on there where it's like there's a lizard man on trial, and it's like, state your first name, your last name, and your occupation, and he says, lizard man, lizard man, lizard man. It's one of the funniest jokes in the show. It's on the first episode.
Whatever the Navajo told you, it's
Come
just
on.
one possible
Why can't-
solution
can I go?
provided by Cypher. My will is different.
Got some coronavirus in my eye there.
I've known you since your time at Langley. I've long been the other side of your coin. 1964, Soviet territory. Fox's first mission. Any mess you made, I was there to clean up. You completed your task, and admirably. The information you returned was far more than enough to fill our pockets.
Nothing says
With it, our
good guy
futures
like a
became more or
long,
less
slow
set in
monologue
stone.
where I'm forced to just kind of walk along. Oh gosh, is this the part where they bring the Velociraptor up in a cage and he escapes and kills everybody?
And then the Major came to me with an idea. Washington doesn't know how to spend money, he said. I'd
No,
like to
you're not wrong there.
redirect it.
Washington doesn't know how to
His
spend
goal
money.
was an organization dedicated solely, covertly, to supporting America.
America.
Cypher. You know the rest. To him, it was mourning the loss of his friend. Or rather, an act of revenge on the world, but America most of all.
Sup, nerd?
America is a country of liberty, a meeting of immigrants. Instead of simply assimilating, its citizens live alongside others. Their roots are very diverse. America's never been made up of just one group.
Not in Trump's America.
He tried to forge a single consciousness for it and from it. The idea that every citizen would use free will to unite behind their country. Unilateralism like that can't be entrusted to any one individual. So the Major sought a system that used information, words, to control the subconscious.
Not even gonna let me drive. I'd rather not be this close to this guy's face so I don't catch whatever he's got. Just saying. I mean, this is really cozy. I mean, there ain't no way I'm not catching whatever this skin condition is. We are one bad bump away from just bumping heads and him rubbing all over me.
To unite America and the entire world. The Major thought this was his friend's rule. but I think he never understood what she
I killed all these guys.
Before he
I'm
ever
just saying.
walked or cried, even before he was born, his mother tongue was English. He doesn't know the pain of losing his own language. Not yet.
I want to get some
He
moisturizer,
cannot
dude.
understand her will. I do.
Alright. Give me
I
some
was
personal
born in a
space,
small
please.
village. I was still a child.
He's gonna grab my head and start making out with me.
Foreign soldiers. Torn from my elders, I was made to speak their language.
How terrible.
With each new post, my masters changed, along with the words they made me speak. Words are peculiar. With each change, I changed too. My thoughts, personality, how I saw right and wrong. War changed me, and not only my visage. Words can kill. I was invaded by words, burrowing and breeding inside me. A philosopher once said, "It is no nation we inhabit, but a language." Make no mistake, our native tongue is our true fatherland. My fatherland. My truth was stolen from me. And so was my past. All that's left is the future.
So I guess this is like a Navajo that was forced to go to one of those English schools and learn English and not
Their fellow man.
had their language
This is what I learned from the
eliminated.
Nature. And then it hit me. It was he who should feel my wrath. He and the code he chose as basis for control. Language codes, information codes, beamed all around us, genetic codes.
Cheat
spanning
codes.
By controlling the codes, Cypher
Codes of conduct.
Zero intends to unify the
Codex.
codes implanted into our heads, sucking our minds dry as it spreads from one host to the next. A parasite upon this earth, that is what Zero is. As one born into this world, he's afflicted. I hold him responsible for killing my freedom. Killing all traces of my past. Killing any promise of a future. We are all but dead men forced to walk upon this earth.
Hopefully we just get into a car accident and all die.
Zero. Cypher plans to use its code.
Video games never end with a anticlimax where it's just like, so he was waxing poetic about some bullshit, and then we crashed into a rock and died.
The final parasites.
The final
It knows
countdown.
English. An English strain of the vocal parasite.
It doesn't make any
I
sense at
will
all.
Exterminate the English language. With this,
I have no
I
idea what the
rid
plot of this
world
game
of
is.
infestation. All men will breathe free again, reclaim their past, present, and future. This is no ethnic cleanser. It is a liberator
It's like
to free the world from
some
Zero.
kind of virus that only destroys your ability to know certain languages, I guess.
Sans lingua franca, the world will be torn asunder, and then it shall be free. People will suffer, of course, a phantom pain. The world will need a new
Phantom
common
Pain?
tongue,
That's the name of the game.
language of
Get it?
nukes. My metal gears shall be the thread by which all countries are bound together.
And then Metal Gears. That's part of the name of the game too.
Words will be needed. Every man will be forced to recognize his neighbor. People will swallow their pain. They will link lost hands.
I do wonder if at some point we're just gonna get to a point where they stop making video game stories and they're just like, look, you're just a guy who's killing people and shooting people and going and grabbing shit. Now there's gonna be a song. Like it's James Bond or something. What's up, Jube? Hey. Just going through this really long storyline in this game.
Oh, really?
I've been riding in this truck with this other dude for like 5 minutes.
Good job.
It's been giving me the lowdown.
That's fun.
Oh, it's... And now they're playing like a James Bond song. Live and let die. Goldfinger. This is the longest awkward silence. I wonder if this song is on the radio and they're like, can you turn that off, please? Can you please just turn off the, There's a scene like this in Metal Gear Solid 3 where you just randomly come upon this ladder that is no joke, like 2 miles high. Like, you get on the ladder and you start climbing, and then like the theme music for the game starts playing.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like a James Bond song or something.
It's weird.
Yeah. I wish you could hear it right now. You'll have to watch it later. Oh, there's some auto-tune in there too. I'm sure this song really killed it on the charts. Oh,
I'll find it.
they're around.
When the world witnesses Sahalanthropus,
Now that the song's
the
over,
hands of
I
the
will
doomsday
continue
clock
speaking.
will roll on, regardless of Zero.
Glad we-
Sahalanthropus will take the first giant step into a brave new world.
Brave New
It is
World.
the bell with which a world trodden upon by words
That title's not in the name of the game at all.
independence.
Oh. Phantom Pain. And there's the Metal Gear.
We are here.
Cool, can I start shooting people now?
I'm gonna go put some stuff on the washer.
Okay.
Remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Green Wag on station to provide cover. Get us a line of fire. Roger that.
I gotta take my guns or anything?
We're not the only demons in this world. Like you, vengeance is all he has. It's man's thirst for revenge that drives the tides. Just as you live because of me, he lives because of you. Show him!
So it's a guy who's on fire. Who cares? You mad, bro? young Psycho Mantis. Okay. Alright, whatever.
Wait!
Where's the location of this white thing on mine? I think that guy might be dead.
Such a lust for revenge? Oh!
Well, this is not exactly going as expected now, is it? I don't think they made it. Friend? To be continued. Hopefully, like, right now. How am I in a helicopter now?
Mission list updated.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Staff assigned.
Alright, so I guess I'm about to fight a giant robot. Does that mean I should have a rocket launcher? I'm guessing? Or grenade launcher? Mission
Please
31
specify
should be now.
project.
Alright.
Please select a mission.
Sahelanthropus is on the move. The instruments on the support chopper are all malfunctioning. And Eli's acting strangely for some reason. Something's not right.
Alright, well. Guess I should equip a rocket launcher. And I probably won't be putting anybody to sleep.
Deploying.
Let's go destroy ourselves a giant robot. Sahelanthropus. Whatever.
a spike on the RWR. Strain PRS.
How hard can it be to track a giant walking robot?
Control lost. Can't maintain RPM. We're settling.
Intense. So there's 2? Did he just clone himself?
Recovered control. Ascending. Hey, Snake. There's something wrong with Eli.
Hey Julie, can you do me a favor and make sure you can you pull the blinds closed over there? It's like a little, I think it's letting light in or something. Thanks.
Better?
Yes.
Who is doing this? Such a lust for revenge? Who?
I already saw this part. Metal Gear be mad. Maybe run behind it? Just saying. Are you my mother? Oh, I feel bad for it. He's stuck. Oh, he's using his penis beam. Okay, I get it. It's gonna be like Jurassic Park. There's nothing about that I don't love. I mean, it looked like he was charging up his laser, you know?
All units, move in!
Excuse me, sir. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? I mean, he is kind of wagging it around there with some gravitas. Just saying. Sounds like Godzilla sounds. It's funny when you see in these games, it's like, oh, he shot something and it blew through a tank like it was nothing, and in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna fight this guy. He's got a whip. They were really taking this, like, what would you call it? This Japanese stuff to the max. It's like a Zord from Power Rangers. Sword comes flying out of the sky. It's the weirdest thing about the Metal Gear games. Like, sometimes it's like they're, oh, it's realistic tactical espionage, and then there's like this crazy stuff like this that doesn't make any sense at all. He's got a the giant robot's got a lightsaber now, and this also takes place in like 1985 or something. So it doesn't make none of this technology makes any sense. Like the robot just jumps. Whatever, it's a video game. It's fine. I'm sure that guy's totally dead.
Cypher will rewrite the records. I will vanish from human memory. But the thirst for revenge that I have planted will infest the system. No one can stop it now. Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst onto the future.
Okay.
Major, I'm burning up!
Is that guy dead for real? Don't take any notice of me. I'm just gonna start my vehicle and start driving, and don't you, oh shit, god damn it, go!
If the world finds out about Sahelanthropus, Skullface will have won. His plans won't become reality. He won't even need to use nukes. That thing's mere existence would be enough to enslave humanity to the fear of nuclear Armageddon. It would tear the world apart.
Boss? Well, I guess I'm dead, and that's the end of the game. Oh, never mind. There I am. Anytime now. What's up, dude?
It's after you. You need to stop it, boss. Destroy Sahelanthropus.
Okay. I'll get right on that.
Stop Sahelanthropus. Destroy that thing. I'll rally Diamond
Jeez.
and provide backup.
Oh, this is gonna go great. Let me just jump in my car real quick. Get in the car. Go! I think I lost him. Oh no. Oh, goodness gracious me. He's got a laser sword. Some good driving here. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I can get in that tank. No, what do you know? Ah, I shoot this thing. Was it this button? This button? This button? This button? This button? There it is. Okay, well, that didn't go great. It's better than nothing. Stop hurting me, please. Drive away.
Snake, are you okay?
Okay.
Snake!
Anybody got any tips on fighting this thing? Guess I'll just grab it and jump in a bunch of vehicles and shoot at it till it dies.
Stop Sahelanthropus. Destroy that thing. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup.
Ow. Ow.
Stand and fight, Snake.
Oh, big boy. Gotta get out of here, tank. Gotta get out of here.
Support helicopter requested. Please select a strike point. Strike requested.
Seriously? One shot?
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
I better have gotten some kind of checkpoint during that battle. I'll be pissed.
Division stealth assist.
Stop Sahelanthropus. Destroy that thing. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup.
I'll give it one more try. Off to a good start. Back to doing my cheap shit to try and beat this guy.
Support helicopter.
Supply drop, hurry!
Supply drop complete.
Target acquired. In hot. It's coming after hours. Take it out.
Please select and drop supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Use this.
Go for it. Did you add some things to your stream? Yes. Yes. What's up? You can also make it so that your chat box is translucent. What? No. You make it so your chat box is translucent so it can be seen through, kind of like ours. Spoilers. In the Metal Gear games, you destroy the Metal Gear. So, if anybody's watching that, just so you know. Plots. Story spoilers. So did I win or what? Is this the end of the game?
Snake!
You guys gonna make out? What is that dude doing behind the other dude?
Let's see Skullface.
Checkpoint, huh?
There were 3.
One vial missing, yo.
Where's the other?
Very close to you.
How do you know that's not going to contaminate everything? He doesn't know that.
Finish me. Kill me.
So I guess I have to pull the trigger, huh? How many times am I gonna do this? One more time.
Do it yourself. Mission complete, boss.
That's pretty brutal.
I did it! Revenge!
Anyone can give up his fight by laying down arms. But the feeling of holding a gun, that we'll never forget. Like our lost limbs. The sensation lingers.
Ben Franklin.
Here she comes! Here she comes!
Sniper Wolf.
pitiful's in missing hands. We stand tall on missing legs. We stride forward on the bones of our fallen. Then, and only then, are we alive. This pain is ours, and no one else's. The secret weapon we wield, out of sight. We will be stronger than ever, for our peace. Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst unto the future. Those were his last words.
Cause.
Pretentious to the end. Still, doesn't feel like this is over. And I'll never be whole again.
Scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I won't see you in his ashes. You're all diamonds.
This man acted as accomplice to the attack on Mother Base. Why are you here? Revenge against the boss.
I'm not like you!
I think it is time you knew.
I'll go alone. Boss, what are you...
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? Or you?
Kill her! What should we do, boss? Just give the order.
You are right. He is not one of us.
Boss.
Snake?
Attention! Diamond Dogs! Even with Skullface dead, our brothers are unavenged. And the phantom pain he brought us lives on. Cypher is still out there. We know they've planted spies, parasites among us. Watch the man to your left, to your right. Assume nothing. Report everything. It's the only way to protect ourselves. From here on out, you will be my eyes. The deadliest enemy's right here in our midst. And they will get no mercy.
with Skullface dead, our pain is still right with us. We need more strength.
Added.
We need more men. Diamond Dogs needs to be bigger. Missions have come in too. We still have a long road ahead of us.
Commencing platform construction. Staff assigned. Sun will set shortly. Please specify a project.
Hey. Hey, Earl. Hey, wait. Oh. Hey, buddy. Is it time for me to stop playing? Time for me to stop playing the game.
Please
You like
specify
watching?
project.
Don't go up there.
Development project has been added.
Earl.
Please specify a project.
Earl, why are you looking at the TV and wagging your tail? What are you doing? What are you doing, you weirdo? You think it's fun? You having some fun over there?